time. I have peak content to show you all. One of my guilty pleasures is watching Brutalmoose food videos or any kind of video made by Brutalmoose, because this man is the GOAT. And I don't mean an actual GOAT, but that sounds like something he would do in a skit. I mean the greatest of all time. And the video hasn't even started, and for some freaking reason, it's just him flying on a ship right now. So let's get right to the.
Hey there, it's me, Chefy and Brutal Foods. I'm going down the highway on a tasty chip. Continuing my quest to find, taste, and rate every chip in the known galaxy. And some from the unknown, some from the future, some from the past.
Behold.
I will rate the chips, and then I will kick your ass. And that's a guarantee. Today we'll be sampling, tasting, rating, and ranking a variety of different chips. So settle in, relax, and let's get chippy. First up, we have the Hawaiian brand Kettle Style Potato Chip Special Batch Series 808 number 26, sweet and spicy pineapple flavored with other natural flavors potato chips.
Holy smoke.
Is this chip worth its exhaustingly long time?
What is with the title? Is this an isekai anime title in potato chips? Also, kettle chips, it's a hit or miss to me. If I'm in the mood for something crunchy, nice. But if it's like my only option that I have, get ready for some teeth-chattering potato chips.
Title? Well, I'm about to tell you. Now, these chips brag about being sweet with heat, and let me tell you, they don't really disappoint on either of those fronts. Surprisingly, both sweet and heat. In fact, maybe a little bit too sweet and too heat for me. They're weird because they really do taste like a pineapple. They used real pineapple juice to make the dust.
What were they thinking with this?
Somehow they converted pineapple juice into flavor dust. Not sure the science behind that. So I would say that the name of the chip is very accurate. What they advertise is what you get. I just found it to be a little bit strange. I just don't think a really sweet chip is something that I'm in the market for. Especially not one that tastes so strongly of pineapple. I don't know, it was just odd. It's also pretty spicy. Not very spicy, but enough to build a bit of a kick as you eat. And although I am a master of spice, friends and family do call me the Spice Master. It was a little bit more spicy than what I'm comfortable with. It does have
his editing is insane.
In it, so there's that.
This man cannot go a minute. Not even a minute, not even 5 seconds without some wacky green screen shenanigans happening everywhere. 1 minute he's standing right here behind the chips and the palm trees, and the second he's in outer space flying in a cow because God knows why. And at the same time, his teeth has a green screen while they showcase, I don't know, a Nickelodeon back in the 90s on TV. And at the same time, he's talking about the chips.
As a novelty chip, something
the craft
that's
is insane.
Fun to try, but not something that I'm going to be eating a lot of. I don't even see myself finishing off this bag, honestly. So I will give it a C for okay. And it's like the native Hawaiians always said, you can't spell Hawaiian without EN.
Bruh.
That's why they named it that. Because of me. I'll take the credit. Now, as with my other chip videos, we will be using the Brutalmoose grading system of excellence to be handing out grades to these chips. This system has been tested time and again and proven to be the greatest ranking system ever created by a number of independently verified sources. Also, keep your eye out for the second opinion ratings from the Brutalmoose Bureau of Taste, which is a mysterious body of taste testers that are here to counterbalance my ratings and offer you a sense of comfort if you just so happen to disagree with me. Which, I mean, you probably shouldn't, you know? It is my video. Next up is Tim's Cascade Style Special Batch number 13, Zesty Cascade Ranch. They claim to be extra thick and crunchy. Now, when I first saw these, I expected some ranch flavoring. What I did not expect was for them to look almost identical to Cool Ranch Doritos. It's got the blue and red spices that I typically associate with those Doritos, and even smells somewhat like a Cool Ranch Dorito.
Salty pineapple.
Taste-wise,
Yeah, the
I
taste
found
of
them
Jizz,
to be a little bit more peppery and maybe a little less flavorful than a Dorito, but still very good. It also has a little bit of heat, which I wasn't really expecting. Less so than the spicy pineapple, but still very present.
Yes, it's full
I
of
didn't even
Timex.
notice the little peppers on the front of the bag, which would have been a warning that there's some heat there. I
Can't eat
just
raw
wasn't
pineapple.
paying
A lot of
that
people
much
can't.
attention, if you can believe it. So yeah,
Dude, it's really true that pineapple, when you put it in your mouth and you leave it there for a long time, it starts eating your mouth. But that's because of the acidity. And a lot more people are very weak to that kind of level of acidity. You need to counter the acidity of the pineapple with your own stomach acids. And also, the Sassy Cascade Ranch doesn't look that bad. I feel like I almost had this, to be honest. You can't eat lemons. Yeah, I can have lemons. Enzymes, acidity, enzymes. Yeah, it's the thing that, eats itself. You can eat acidic stuff fine. Oh yeah. It's a different level of
it's a
acidity.
mild heat, which is more my speed because I am a small child.
Chips.
I found that this chip feels a little more thin than a regular Tim's, but I could be overanalyzing. They're not listed as Tim's Thins, so I don't know. They say extra thick and crunchy. I didn't find them to be extra thick, just like regular thick. Either way, it's a very tasty chip, especially if you are a fan of Cool Ranch Doritos and would like to try it on a potato instead of a Dorito, which is a corn chip, I think. So I give Tim's Cascade Style Special Batch number 13 Zesty Cascade Ranch a
7.
A-. Superb.
What?
I probably said this in a previous chip video, but I'd never heard of these chips until I moved up to the PNW. And I gotta say, they have become one of my favorites. I really like Tim's. Big fan. All right, here
Corn
we got
chips.
Lay's
Oh my
Wavy
goodness.
Funyuns Onion. Flavored potato
Funyuns!
chips. These are sweet, very strong onion.
Ooh, did anybody see the Funyun guys? And that's not the Funyun guy. It's the guy that says like, "Hey there, kids, show me the credit card numbers." The announcement for you if you want a Fortnite battle pass.
In flavor. Not sweet like the pineapple were, sweet, more of a oniony sweet. My question here though is, does it taste like a
The
Funyun?
Funyuns guy.
I'm not so sure. I don't think I've eaten enough Funyuns lately to really recognize the taste. It is very, very oniony, and the wavy chip is a little soft and spongy. No matter the case, I definitely prefer a regular Funyun without a doubt. I think the idea of different chip powders on different chips is a very interesting and fun idea, but in this case, I can't really see myself going for these over the original. These are really oniony, like super, super oniony. If you enjoy overwhelming onion flavor, I think you will love these. I mean, just a few chips in and you'll be tasting onion. I like them, but it's just so strong, I really don't think I can eat a bunch in one sitting. I'm gonna give them a C for onion.
Wow. Actual rating a D. Hot take.
Okay.
Pringles are
everything bagel.
Kind of mid.
Really, really weird. These taste unlike any Pringle I've ever had. They're very strange, very stinky, and also weirdly bland. Like they're not salty at all. They're just really stinky. It's hard.
I remember vividly watching someone try to do mashed potatoes using Pringles. Wasn't that MatPat in Food Theory? It started from a recipe from TikTok because that's insane. There are some Pringle flavors that I got here. No, in a good day, a Pringle can go a long way. But if you offer me which one do I want, like a regular regular chips over Pringles, I'll take any regular chip.
Hard for me to pin down a specific flavor, honestly. It's just a really bizarre chip. A peculiar Pringle, perhaps. I'm not sure that it's necessarily bad, but I definitely hate it. So that's not a good sign. It's really like bitter and gross and stinky. Is it cheese? Is it supposed to be? I think it's supposed to be cream cheese, and then maybe like the sesame seeds on top of an everything bagel. But it tastes really bad. definitely doesn't taste
Sour cream.
like any kind
Probably one
of
of the best.
bagel I've ever had before. I don't even think these are worth trying for curiosity's sake. I just don't think they're good. Not great. Not great. Cannot
Everything
recommend
bagel. Nah.
I mean, it's bursting
I
with
love
flavor,
everything
all
bagel,
right, just
not on
not
chips,
with the
please.
flavor that I want. Ugh. Man, these unique Pringle flavors are really hit or miss. This is the Philly cheesesteak Pringle, which I find to be salty and oniony, but in a different way than the Funyun Lay. It's
No
less
way.
sweet than a Funyun. It somehow does taste more like a grilled onion than just onion powder. And there's also a very strong cheese flavor, a very stinky, overwhelming cheese flavor.
Whoa, you're one of those peoples that have the soapy cilantro gene, so they taste like soapy potatoes. That is crazy to me. Man, some people do have a gene in their body that when they eat cilantro, it tastes like soap. Couldn't be me, but holy crap, that is crazy to know that even is a thing. I was just reminded of that.
found surprising is that there was no steak flavor, which is, you know, at least a third of the name. So they don't taste like steak, they kind of taste like cheese, and I feel like it hardly tastes of Philly, which I would imagine of having a flavor that's like sad, stinky garbage, you know? I gotta say, I've always loved the idea of a Philly cheesesteak, but I don't think I've ever had a good one before. I think I've only ever had mall cheesesteaks, and they have been greasy and not much else. But I do like the idea of them, and I hope to have a delicious Philly cheesesteak someday in the future. As for the chips, though, they're okay. They're better. It's better than the bagel Pringle, that's for sure, but it's still not one that I think I would add to my usual lineup. A fun novelty
Durian.
chip to try,
Smells bad,
especially if
tastes
you are a
good.
fan of the cheesesteak. But for me personally, it just makes me want to go to Philly to try and get an authentic cheesesteak for once and see what all the hubbub is about. I'm gonna give
You
these.
forgot Brutalmoose, like, sis, this is the greatest YouTuber.
Okay, I think this is the last
The
Pringle
editing
flavor
always
that
like
I will
you
be
never
trying
know.
today. It is the
Here's a pop game. Here's a game for all of you. Pick a corner of the screen. Take a shot every time. His name Ian. Every time he comes out of a certain corner that you picked. If you pick the top, you wouldn't be wrong because sometimes he just like spawns from space.
Carnitas Taco Pringle. This is a chip that tastes like a taco. Unlike the cheesesteak Pringle, this chip actually does have a meaty flavor alongside notes of lime and onion.
Soapy
They're salty, but not aggressively so, and they're built upon the Pringle-style potato
Yeah,
crisp,
that's
which
why I
is
feel
a
like I'm
pure
acid.
delight.
True.
And if you disagree with me, then
See
you're
what I'm
wrong.
telling you?
My
Look, he appeared from the bottom. Whoop!
initial reaction
Spawn
to this
from the
chip was
bottom.
that it was bizarre and really strange, just
Give
because
it a
of how
second.
much it did indeed taste like a carnitas taco. And I gotta clarify that it tastes actually like a
He
taco.
spawned from
it
the-
doesn't
from the
taste
top.
like taco seasoning dumped on a chip. It does taste like a carnitas taco. It's very strange, but very good. On top of accurately evoking the flavors depicted on the can, the chips are also just really tasty. I like
He's
them a
gonna
lot.
spawn behind the
and
chip.
next time
There
I want
it
to buy a
is. There
Pringle,
it
this one will be on my watch
Say
list.
what I tell you. Say what I tell you. Pick a corner. Where is Ian gonna spawn from? And it's like, play the game and just make a bet. The next time he disappears, make a bet. Where is he gonna spawn from?
List, alongside my usual favorites. Well done, Pringle, and congratulations, Earth. I give them a A.
Dangerously
Chester's
cheesy.
new fries chili cheese, $2.99 only. Pretty easy to sum this
Oof,
one up
no.
if you are a
I tried the
chip
ranch
enthusiast.
fries
But these taste almost
from-
exactly
Ugh.
like chili cheese Fritos.
I felt like I
but
was
on
tasting
a fry-style
plastic.
chip, which is a soft chip, but in a fun way. And I like to have fun.
Wasn't bad.
I'm a real big fan, especially when it's a really big fan. Not much else to say. It tastes like chili cheese Frito flavoring. I could not stop myself from
Street
eating them.
tacos,
I
ooh.
could down a whole bag of these easily. I don't know that they are better than chili cheese Fritos, but if you are a fan of that flavoring and want to try it in a different context, you might want to pick these up. I could eat a whole bag. I had to stop myself. B+, very hard to stop eating. Okay, so
Nah,
these
I can
are
stop easy.
Chester's new fries, Carolina barbecue flavor, $2.99
Spicy?
only. Which Carolina? They didn't specify. I've never had Carolina
South
barbecue
Carolina.
before, but I kind of want to know which one is responsible for this shit because I need my hatred of it to be more focused, more targeted to one Carolina in particular. One thing's for sure, whatever's going on in the Carolinas must be really fucked
Mid-Carolina.
up. Because this is disgusting. First of all, it smells terrible. The smell is overwhelming. I can't describe it other than to say it smells either like North or South Carolina.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely disgusting. The chip is very sweet, very, very sweet, very tangy. It kind of tastes like a ketchup, but like a gross Carolinian version of ketchup, like with way more sugar in it, way too much sugar. Especially after the success that was the chili cheese Chester fry, this was an all-around terrible experience, and anyone who likes this chip is probably a fucking Carolinian. And yes, I realize that you can't spell Carolinian without Ian. I get it, okay? I dug my grave at the beginning of the episode, and now I have to, you know, deal with the consequences. This is super disgusting, and if anyone were to open these in my presence, I would be immediately offended. I'm gonna give them an F. Just awful.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely terrible. That's as nice as I can be, honestly.
Ooh, more kettles.
Oh my god. This is the Kettle brand crinkle cut potato chips, bolder and crunchier, truffle oil, and sea salt flavor. How am I supposed to read this thing on the bag? Very hard for me to decipher. These chips are surprisingly stinky. The truffle flavor on the first chip was a little overwhelming just because it caught me off guard. I love truffle though, and I find these to be pretty excellent. It's very strong, surprisingly strong. They do not skimp on the flavor here. It's very nice, very stinky, nasty, and salty. And I like the wavy chip too.
Stinky
The Lay's wavy chip was very soft
some-
and
something
spongy.
can smell bad and taste
but
good,
this
though.
is a nice kettle chip with a nice crunch to it. Very
This is
delicious.
different, yeah.
And just because of how strongly stinky they are, it's
Truffle.
easy to not gorge on
Truffle's
these chips.
overrated.
I don't think I could eat a whole bunch of these in one sitting just because of the strength of the truffle oil. Well, I don't know, maybe I could. Maybe I could. Anyway, a little goes a long way with these, and as a big fan of truffle,
like
I'm going
mushrooms.
to give these an A-.
But truffle
If you know
is just,
any
like,
stink
expensive for no
connoisseurs,
reason.
be
Actually,
sure
no, it is
to,
expensive because it's
recommend
difficult to
them
harvest.
this delicious chip. Oh man, these are the Sun Chips made with black beans, Southwestern queso flavor. I love Sun Chips, and you should too. They're light and crispy, and so I just love a Sun Chip. These specific Sun Chips are also made
Self-acclaimed,
with black beans,
healthy
which
food.
I've never tried before. I mean, I've tried a black bean before. I just not in a Sun Chip. They're zesty, cheesy, beany, the tiniest bit spicy, like teeny tiniest bit. And although I feel like I get more of a bean dip flavor out of them than a queso flavor, perhaps
doubt
that's
it.
just
Truffle's
a
good.
placebo effect from their
It's just
poopy
like,
brown color. This is another chip that I will be adding to my list of regulars. I will consider this next time I get
It's
a
only
Sun
high
chip.
because it's rare.
They're surprisingly delicious, possibly my favorite out of the whole batch for this episode. I really liked these, and again, they were very hard for me to put down. I just kept eating them. I give the Sun Chips made with black beans Southwestern queso flavor a very, very tasty, highly recommended, especially to any Sun Chip or bean fans.
I like
we
Sun
got
Chips,
any
they're
bean
okay.
heads out there? Is that a thing?
Tastes really good on fries and chips.
All right, we're gonna end this episode on the chip with the flashiest bag.
Ooh, these are
the
good.
Doritos Golden Sriracha.
I had these.
They
These
tend
are
to be tangy and
good.
sweet, as well as a bold twist on sriracha. and pure gold. I have not had sriracha in a long time, not since the pepper dispute. But I used to be a really big, so I was expecting this to be a bit of a throwback for me.
Oh, dude, you mentioned something really key. Putting chips on like salad or a sandwich, or hell, on a lot of things. You can like not even like little pieces. You can just put chips on a lot of stuff, and it would taste really good. Chips with salad, chips with sandwich. I'm gonna give it an extra crunch. Oh, taco. Hell yes. And also have a good night, Natsu. Thank you so much for being here.
But I don't like them at all. They don't really taste like sriracha to me. I don't know if golden sriracha is a completely
It almost tastes like
thing, but this was very sweet,
like the purple bag one, the sweet chili
taste.
Not sweet chili, it's like sweet spicy.
Spicy as well. Not burn your tongue lumps off spicy, but fairly spicy. If you like a spicy sweet chip, you'll probably disagree with me, but I'll never hear about it. I give these a D+. And again, I have no idea what golden sriracha is. Is that different from the sriracha I'm thinking of? I don't know. I should probably do my research since I'm making a video on them. But I'm just kind of
the
a
golden
chip
is just
eater,
for branding.
You guys have Google. Use it. So here we have the results of the Essential Guide to Chips Volume 4. Some good chips.
It seems about
some bad chips.
Not really, right. I wouldn't put. I really like the Doritos Sriracha. They're pretty good. I thought that was pretty solid. Kettle texture is hit or miss, but I don't doubt it. Pringles B and C sounds about right. Funyuns C sounds about right. The Essential, this one sounds, Sun Chip being good. That's good. This is a good tier list. Not gonna lie.
Spread this time around.
Ever had chips in these nuts? Yes, I have. All the time.
But it's definitely the Carolina
I love eating nuts, almonds, cashews, all that stuff.
Huge mistake. Those should not have been put into production.
Delicious.
And Carolina barbecue as a concept, an idea, should be
taco Pringles. Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Just completely removed from our plane of existence. As for my favorite chip, I think I'm gonna have to give it to the Sun Chips Black Bean Queso. Even though they tasted like a bean dip, I still think they were my favorite chip and the one that I had the most trouble putting down when I initially tasted it. Very, very good. Very, very chip. If you have any current opinions on these chips or you run out and try some, please let me know how you felt about them in the comments section. There's always a healthy discussion about the various flavors there. That's going to do it for this volume of the Essential Guide to Chips. Thank you very much for watching. But before I go, I've got to say my #1 catchphrase. This video is sponsored by HelloFresh.
Yo! Ian
That was
sponsor,
a
let's go.
terrible episode of Brutal Foods. So time to change the channel on my television set and then ignore it whilst I play my favorite computer game on my personal cellular telephone.
It's everything. Even he makes an ad moment look pretty nice. It's like JonTron when he goes to the ads and it's like, oh, here's the most insane edits.
I hate commercials. I'm tired of this Yellow Fresh commercial always popping up.
Yellow Fresh. Didn't I? Follow me. Wasn't HelloFresh in like some trouble recently? HelloFresh. Oh my God! Green screen. Green.
Did that soap advertisement just say something about HelloFresh's delicious new ready-made meals?
Bruh. Hey, GG. Also, whose music is this though? Whoever it is, I'm singing over it though.
Maybe I'm getting hungry. Wonder what else is on.
What they're saying about you, it just can't be true. John Jim.
But Tabitha R. HelloFresh is evolving in 2025 and offering new ready-made meals, chef-crafted, flavorful dishes that are ready in just 3 minutes. Perfect for busy days when you need a quick, delicious meal with zero prep. Do you realize the pain you've caused me?
The sleepless nights,
What is this soap opera stuff?
John Jim Jackson. I thought we would be together forever. Baby, she's the only one I need. She's my everything. And I love her.
Bruh. What is this edit?
Man, product placement is really getting out of control these days.
Right?
Wait,
I feel like there's a lot of YouTubers getting crazy with the
commercial talking about HelloFresh too. It's probably just a random coincidence.
It'll stick in your brain though.
Did you or a loved one purchase or receive a HelloFresh order as
Internet
a gift
common
between
etiquette.
2011 and 2025?
Yes, right?
If so, listen carefully to this important message. You are entitled to high-quality
Hi, monkey. How
ingredients,
you doing?
including
Hello.
seasonal fresh produce and proteins that travel from the farm to your doorstep. You also
What the
may be
heck?
entitled to additional...
Okay, what is going on? Does my TV have a virus or something?
Bruh.
It usually doesn't do this.
Hey, yo, bro,
It
let's
usually
go.
just plays the shows.
Dear Lord. He gave the HelloFresh a giant slot.
Family. I love Gorf in the family.
Gorf, what the heck are you doing with my golf clubs? Dad, obviously I'm building a cool time
That
machine.
fucking manatee on the shirt.
I want to go back to last week so I can get A+ on my
What is
math
this
quiz.
video about anymore?
So I can get A+
Ian,
on my
what are you
math
doing?
quiz. But I've got a tea time with Billy Richards, the big-time boss of my cutting-edge futuristic widget company, in 20
It almost feels like I'm watching a
minutes.
different video.
And me, Gorf Daddy,
I'm
really
like,
needs this
double
promotion.
checking.
Well, you know what Gorf's son always says. Enjoy
It's a huge
more
manatee.
convenient
HelloFresh choices than ever with new options on the menu like
15-minute meals, prep and bake, and 3-minute heat and eat ready-made meals.
Actually, you know what? I think my TV is just fine.
Claim your free ready-made
Oh
meals
my
for life
gosh.
and 50% off your first box at HelloFresh.com.
Your wife told you this-
with code
oh gosh.
BrutalMooseRN.
I'll read that in a minute.
One free ready-made meal per box while supplies last. With
Is this
active
still an ad,
subscription.
right?
50% off.
I'm like,
applies
how
discount
long
on
is
first
this
box. New
ad?
subscribers only. Varies by plan.
Ian,
That's
what
free
the hell are
ready-made
you
meals for
doing?
life. 50% off your first box at HelloFresh.com with code BrutalMoose.
Is that Chisel, my beloved? A video by Brutalmoose. Thank you, the GOAT, the greatest. He's apologizing to the states. Okay, I was gonna skip, but this is huge though.
Hey guys, I just wanted to take a second to apologize to my favorite cities out there, Philadelphia and South Carolina. Philadelphia, I think you're really cool. Great job on the Liberty Bell and your Super
Taco
Bowl
Bell?
wins. I think that's really neat and something to be proud of. North and South Carolina, you guys are awesome too. I didn't mean my hurtful joke, and I still don't really know anything about what you guys are up to, but I've been to Myrtle
Bruh.
Beach before, and that was pretty dope.
The beach. I miss the beach. A good beach. But that was a solid video by Brutalmoose. Let's go give him, of course, I'm gonna drop the link in case anybody wants to see this video in here. And yes, that makes sense to me. That checks out. That's Brutalmoose. Thank you all so much for watching this video. What's your favorite chip though? Say that in the comment section below.